Everybody, Reggie Time here with a highlights video as part of the 50,000 hand challenge on 888 Snap. It is currently 20 to 10 in the morning. I'm planning on playing a 50-minute session or so. Hopefully we get enough interesting hands within this to put a video out today. So let's stop wasting time and get on with the session. Opening the tune now. Pocket King small blind versus someone who I think is recreational. There's no HUD stats at the minute. Triple Eight did an update, and to the best of my knowledge, Hilden manager haven't got round to catching up yet. So I think I played with this guy yesterday morning, and struck me as somebody who at least wasn't like a regular, if you will. Maybe he plays every day, so maybe he's a regular in that sense. But I mean, thing is, I don't, with no stats, he could be one of these like really, really tight regulars. Like he didn't strike me as like a good aggressive reg, but he could be one of those like 18/7 types, 16/3 types. I don't know. I just don't know. But he didn't strike me and doesn't strike me as someone who's playing like proper, decent, reggish, aggressive stats. Meanwhile, I've opened the Queen 7 and got a call. Kick off with a small bet. Pretty good flop. King Jack 8. I'm going to use a big size on this flop, I think. He's raised under the gun called a 3-bet. Probably doesn't have deuces. So I think the only way we'll beat Rhea Healy, really beat here, is if he's got pocket 8s or pocket jacks. And if he's got either of those hands, then he's just going to get all the money. The 6 feels like it's a brick. ISO in the King 10 suited on table 1. Do I want to just shove here for like 1.5 pots? Do I want to just go like half pot and shove river? I think that feels better. He just folds anyway. And the King Queen offsuit. In 3-bet by the small blind, which is a little bit irritating, but whatever. Think we're probably just calling here. Certainly folding the ace deuce. Think I'm just wanting to call with this King Queen off. I'm not loving it full stop, to be completely honest. Don't love it. I don't know. I know we're meant to defend this at like quite a frequency, but it just feels like such a trouble hand against ranges that aren't as loose as we really want them to be. Obviously calling ace should be a decent card for us in terms of like reducing how much value he has. Checking back here and really hoping we just get to check down against like pocket jacks, that type of thing. Maybe we've massively sucked out on pocket queens. Don't bet, mate. Good. I think we just check down and win here. And let's just hope it's pocket jacks or something like that. King Jack. Okay then. Maybe I'm a big hairy fanny. Maybe I missed value there. I think though in general it's fair to say I think that every 3-bet spot is under 3-bet by population. So if every 3-bet spot is under 3-bet by population, then I think I'm right in saying this. If every 3-bet spot is under 3-bet by population, then we really don't want to be defending anything like the types of ranges that's suggested to us from all the range charts. So it's like, which ones do you kick out? Obviously bottom of range, They're some of the hands that you kick out. But I think there's also some hands that are like I don't know, the offsuit shit. Well, not that. I mean, King Queen's not shit, but a lot of the offsuit stuff for me wants to really go. It wasn't a comfortable defend for me. That. Anyway, we move on. We have the King Queen suited here. I think we're going to want to four bet this. At least some of the time. I think we're going to have a cheeky little roll for this. We have rolled a number that makes me want to four bet. So we're going to. I mean, this 3-bet size is just a joke that he's made. It's just a total joke. Obviously not a regular player. I am going to try and bluff this spot at some point. Should our opponent allow us, but I'm not going to bet this flop. I'm going to check back and then maybe try and bluff some later spots. I'm going to bet smallish on this turn, like 14, 15 blinds. And then take a view on whether we bluff the river. Don't need, no need, no need. He just folds. Happy days, happy days, happy days. C betting the ace king. Opening the pocket fours and the ace king spades. Opening the ace jack offsuit. Checking the ace king of spades. Turning a king. These guys are playing like really, they feel like they're playing really weak type this morning. I don't recall making a 3-bet yet. Don't recall getting 3-bet very often. I think the pool, without stats it's hard to know, but I think the pool is basically VPPing less than like, or sort of PFRing less than 10%, it feels. 4-5 off. Good for you, mate. I think we have another value bet here. Not loving it. Certainly folding to a raise. But I think the pool's playing so passive. We just don't have a. I don't want to like check and try and bluff catch versus whatever this guy might have. He now shoves. We're just going to fold and not worry too much about it. Open out of. I think this guy's a regular. That flop is pretty ideal unless he has 8-7s and pocket queens of the world. Don't really know what size to use here. I think we're just going to start small. Villain calls, turns the club. We have the ace of clubs, so we're not too disturbed by that. So checking. checks back. I think we're going to go with like a try and induce something. We're going to go with a really small bet with the hopefully it induces him to do something. Yeah, we'll go with the block call here. Maybe he tries to take us off a hand like pocket jacks, pocket tens. No, he just calls. Never mind. He had pocket jacks himself, so he wasn't going to try and take us off pocket jacks when he had pocket jacks, was he? King 10 off's going to be an open. Not c-betting versus his stack size with a hand that has a tiny bit of showdown value and a little bit of equity. If we are behind, probably try and bluff through a bit if it checks through again. Much more interestingly over here we have been 3-bet with the kings and called. I think we're just all in here, are we? I mean, let's roll. All in or just 4-bet. No, we've rolled just a normal 4-bet, I think. I don't want to. No, I'm just all in. Fuck rolls. Checking back here with a flush. Should have listened to my RNG. I wonder what that is. I'm going to check that later. I wonder if we do a lot of jamming there. I rolled for like 75% normal 4-bet and 25% jam. Don't know the actual frequency, of course, because I'm not a fucking robot. But maybe, and my frequencies could be way out there. But I think when it's like 3-bet and a call, I think we're just incentivized to do a lot more jamming. Could be wrong. That's one I'll certainly check after the session. So here we are in the information section of how that session went. Before we look at anything, I'm going to guess that I played. My stats aren't going to be great in that session in terms of like how aggressive I looked. It was a very, very dull session. It just felt like every other player was like playing really VPing low. I think that there's only like one like active reg that I saw. That one by like one active reg, I mean like one reg who was like trying to play like a decent aggressive strategy. I think there's a lot of like awfully loose passive players in there. Oh, sorry, tight passive players in there. So let's see how the session went. I think we booked a small win, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we booked a very small win. 23-20 with only a 4% 3-bet, and that's because no fucker was opening. Literally nobody was opening. Yeah, I mean, there's my stats overall. This is like since the start of the challenge. We played 9 hours, played 3 and a bit thousand hands, nearly 4,000. 22-18, exactly where I want to be, stats-wise, or very close to, probably exactly. This could do being a bit higher. I think I'm not going to show the position tab today because it's shit sample size, and we're going to show that at the end. We're saving that for the end. But I already started to highlight, I don't think I'm finding enough button 3-bets. I need to do a bit more study on my button 3-bet ranges because that number looks low compared to other areas. I'm not finding enough small blind 3-bets either. I already know that. If I start finding them, I expect these numbers to come up just a little bit. If I start finding more of them, maybe they come up to 23, 19, 24, 20-ish, something like that. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm really pleased with how it's going so far, obviously. This win rate is just not going to be how it's going to be long term, so we're obviously finding some heat too. But overall, certainly can't complain. The one thing I do want to complain about, and I don't know what to do about it because I feel like I'm playing well. Maybe it's just how these games are going to be. Obviously, the graph's really quite sexy, but this red line isn't. When we pull the red line up, we're losing still at like around 10 bigs 100, maybe just over. And maybe that's just how it is. Maybe that's just how it has to be. I've never been a red line player, and I'm not asked about having a positive red line. As I said about in the first video, having like a red line negative 10 big blinds 100 is fine by me. I don't have an issue with it. But I had thought with my and try like improving my pre-flop ranges, hopefully try to find some more three bets, finding more ways to put pressure on my opponents. I could maybe get my red line to like -8 big blinds, maybe even better. Maybe that's just not in my, maybe I'm just not capable of doing that with my overall poker mindset. I mean, I don't really care very much as long as the green line's doing good things. I don't really care about the red line, but it is an indication that I'm maybe being a little bit too passive in some spots. And I know that I have a strategy of like post-flop overfolding in these games, well, in general, like micro-stakes poker, because people just don't find anywhere near enough bluffs. So I just tend to find a lot of overfolds with my marginal hands. I tend not to be as stab happy with my air post flop when I've got the initiative on boards that I don't like to attack and versus opponents I don't like to attack. So I know there are some parts of my post flop strategy that just lend themselves to not having good red line, but I think overall lend themselves to my having a decent green line. So I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, just try to get a good red line. But if we can make it where it's, I mean, if this red line was at 70 -75 rather than -100, I'd be delighted. So we are nitpicking a little bit, but overall I'm really pleased with how it's going. Pleased with my volume. We played 3,700 hands in just, what, I don't know what the date is today. 3 days, 2 days, something like that. So who knows? You never know with me. I mean, I could have a 2-day break-even stretch session and not want to play for the fucking week or longer even. I am pretty committed at the moment to sticking to this, but again, with me, you just never fucking know. At the current rate, we should be completing this challenge by the end of November. Because if I was to play this game daily, then I would get very close to 50,000 hands in a month. But I'm not expecting to. At some point, I'm going to hit a little wall with it, and I'm going to be fed up with it, and I'm going to take a break for a few days, almost certainly, and just play elsewhere. But yeah, things are going well so far. Couldn't be going better, to be honest with you. Really happy with everything, with almost everything I'm doing. So yeah, fingers crossed things can continue going well, and I keep putting consistent videos out there for you guys to enjoy and for me to hold myself to account. But we're going to leave it there for now. Maybe another video tomorrow morning, maybe not, who knows. If not, there won't be one till next week. So yeah, enjoy the game, everybody. Take care. Good luck. Fuck the Tories, and bye-bye for now.